Hello, 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 everyone. I am Melinda, NailFanatic of Love, Peace, and Happiness Tarot in Las Vegas, Nevada. And this is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Northern Node, and Venus, Pisces for April 2018. These are your tarot and channel messages. And let's see what are the messages coming out for you, okay? This card here pulling my attention. This is the woman in meditation, the meditation lady. So here we have someone who's focused on receiving their downloads, and the bottom of the deck says receive. So I love the way that I said that because it's perfect for what was coming out of the cards. So Pisces, this is a wonderful time for you to seek to quiet the external world and hear the internal world. You can literally even ask Love Source God to turn the volume up on your spiritual ears so that you can hear with greater clarity and immediacy the messages that are meant for you to receive. And so let's see what's coming out of the flashcards for us. Also, I feel like this is a great time for you to really trust in the messages that you're getting, Pisces. You know, it's not that there's ever a bad time to trust in the message that you're getting, but I feel like this is a time that is pushing you to trust even more. The message that's coming out of the flashcards for you is at 12 televisions. This is about receptivity. This is about what channel are you tuned in, tapped in, turned on to. Because whatever channel you've got those televisions set to, that's what you're going to be receiving. So I feel like each of those televisions stands for a situation that you can develop to be receptive of whatever you choose. And I feel like you've got 12 different main things going on right now. Yeah, that sounds like a lot. 12 different things going on. Well, it's not really. If you think about how many thoughts your mind has a day, there are 12 main things going on in your vibration. And I feel like that 12 is even symbolic of the 1 + 2 = 3, and 3 being the number of creativity. So the things that you're focused upon, the channels that you're tuned into, tapped into, turned on with, are what are creating a receptive energy within you, a creative energy. And so what do you want to be tuned to? You can ask your Love Source God to help you set your receptors and tune yourself into that which you want to be more receptive of. From the Crystal Healing deck, we have Azurite. It says expanded awareness, and at the bottom of the deck, we have Stibnite, and it says conflict. So where you've been conflicted in some of the things that you have going on in your vibration, I feel like you're increasing your awareness of that right now. And the different conflicts that you're coping with and dealing with in life are there to help you see something, to help you become more aware of something within your vibration, within your relations, and within your own being, to help make you aware to the point to where you're willing to take a different approach. I was going to say a different course of action, but some of this is not necessarily action-based. This is more of a vibration, and so a different approach. Something where your thoughts and your feelings have been conflicted is coming out for you at this time, Pisces, for you to address, to embrace. From the Journey of Love deck, we have Angel of Jupiter Awaken, dealing with awakening, expansion, dealing with fortunate things coming to pass and coming to happen for you. The Blood Dance. This is a link to all of your ancestors. This is a link to all of your loved ones who have come before you. The genetic link that links you to humanity. How's that for a better way of putting it? This is about that. This is about how, for some of you, there is an increased awareness about how there is a person in your family, for some of you, who is causing you to have to grow, because some of the things that they've got going on may not be ideal. And one of the ways that you have to grow is, for some of you, with this 3D tarot card coming out, the Wheel of Fortune, for some of you, the growth that's being sought from you has to do with the ending of a cycle. So for some of you, this is a situation where, you know, there's a person who has maybe taken advantage or abused the trust or been deceptive or manipulative in your relations, that the awareness is becoming more and more transparent. And so with that expanded awareness of the situation, you begin to embrace this idea of letting yourself let that go and let go of those old cycles, because you realizing that by continuing to put yourself in that position, you already know what you're gonna get. I know what I'm gonna get is what I just received, okay? You know what you're gonna get. You know that the conflict is there, and as long as you continue to embrace the conflict, you're going to continue to embrace the conflict, and that's what you're going to get out of it. So where these situations are conflicting for you, where people act in a conflicting manner to what you find to be your standards, you're going to start backing out of those things and saying, hey, I'm bringing an end to this cycle. I'm not going to do this any longer, not to myself. I'm not going to allow this any longer. It's time for this cycle to be done. The universe has your back says, when I accept the love of the universe as my primary teacher, I will always be guided back to the light. So I feel like in some sense there was especially with this person that I'm picking up on, you know, there was expecting this person to fulfill the love that you needed and expected to see, but you're being guided out of that situation because that was just breeding additional codependency. Codependent behaviors are not where you're being led. Where you're being led is to realize that it's the love of the universe. It's the love from within. And your extended awareness of that is what's bringing you into actual greater fortune situations. But it's through the letting go of the cycles and the situations that have passed to embrace the newness that's available for you, the more powerful stance. To take the more powerful stance, you have to let go of the weaker stance. And so, the universe is teaching you through these situations and circumstances that you're dealing with. Understand that we don't have to chastise the conflict or condemn the conflict. The conflict is a blessing. Through that conflict, I'm hearing through every conflict you have, the expanded awareness is available to you. From every bit of doing this dance with your family members and with the links that you have, and you are embracing an awakening within you of your true desires, your true nature, your true expansion, and which way you can go and what you want to do and be and become and have and how you want to feel, and all of that stuff is coming into play because of these challenges. Now, also the blood dance is talking to me about some cycles, you know, and picking up on the menstrual cycle of females, where, you know, there's a building up time, there's a holding time, and there's a releasing time. And so likewise, in this situation, whatever you're dealing with here, Pisces, for April 2018, there is that energy of cycles and a building up and a embracing and holding on to, and then a letting go. What is it that needs to be built up in your life right now? What is it that needs to be embraced? And what is it that needs to be let go? Okay. So we have, from the Whispering Woods, we have the card of patience. Everything can be accomplished at nature's pace. So the expanded awareness, this resolution of the conflicts, the awakening and the taking of the receptivity of the divine downloads, everything is coming in at the perfect prescribed time. As everything is matured and ready, that's when it becomes available to you. So it is important for you to have patience, not only with yourself in situations and circumstances, and with the universe to provide the solutions that you are looking for. This card here is a card, this rune here is Gibo. It's a marriage rune. This is about connections, commitments, bonds, and links, okay? So I feel like for you, be patient in regards to this bond that you have going on. And also it looks like the X on this Wheel of Fortune is saying, you know, some cycles are ending. For some of you, there's a greater awareness of the fact that a relationship that's been existing is ready to move into the next phase. And it's that simple, of letting go of an old phase to embrace the new phase of your relationship. So it's going to play out differently for all of you, but it is playing out. And as far as the tarot goes, with the goddess deck we have here, justice is the main underlying energy. So for some of you, you may be dealing with a legal matter. If there is an air sign in a marriage with you, for some of you, there actually could be somebody who's taking a marriage and having a legal separation or a divorce go through for someone, because you had to cut someone off because they took a different choice. They took a different route. They went with someone else. They're choosing, and your paths are no longer aligned for those of you who are going through this separation. And I feel like you're going to want to be emotional, but I feel like you know too much about how you're always being brought to a lesson, and you're always being brought to right where you need to be, and you're always in this receiving mode. And so you understand so much that there's no loss in the divine mind, that even if this relationship is severed or put on hold or whatever that is, then I feel like you, even though there's a want to be more emotional, you know too much to be more emotional. You understand how this is working out. And so even though it feels conflicting, you're taking it as a way to expand your consciousness, expand your awareness, and spiritually, you're in a place of great power because you have Isis as magic right above you. And the Magician card up here is definitely saying that, you know what, I'm using my spiritual power to get me through all of this. And I know that it doesn't matter what the physical world looks like. It matters how I respond to it, and that there are things going on in my physical world of a spiritual nature. And those things aren't readily observable. And sometimes they have a physical effect that I totally did not expect, and something that I wasn't prepared for. But that I'm always being brought to my good, and you're understanding that the universe has your back, and that you have, through all of these conflicts and trials and tribulations that you've been going through, you've been learning more about yourself. You've been learning more about how things come together for you in the universe, because even though you've had to go through these issues and situations and circumstances, you're actually along the way still lining up in coping with whatever you're dealing with, whatever that conflict is for you. I feel like you're lining up with little miracles and little blessings, and people are saying a perfect thing, or you're saying a perfect thing. I feel like for somebody, you're going to be standing outside in the tree, and the way that light hits the tree and the way the sun is shining in the background, it's going to mean something to you. It's going to take you back to a special place. Spiritual connection is what's being highlighted. And I feel like your intuitive nature is being really awakened even more with this, because that's why we have this woman in meditation here and the receptive card at the beginning of our spread here, along with it, the 12 televisions over here asking you, what are you creating by your tuning? What have you tuned yourself to creating? Okay. Because you are in this situation, I feel like you're committing yourself to tuning into something that serves your higher, lighter, and brighter good in the best way possible. And that's a commitment that you're making to yourself, and it's serving you well. All right. So I want to remind you that May 6th, 7th, and 8th, we're having our 3-day event here in Las Vegas. It's a Love, Peace, and Happiness retreat. It's going to be a very intense, where you will get direct solutions, direct assistance. We are going to work with each attendee in a very direct and personal way so that we can create solutions and help you to raise your vibration. We have different events lined up. We're doing a past life regression. We're doing a hypnotherapy session. We're doing some empowerment speaking and a channel question and answer, all where with a very intimate group, so that you'll be able to really feel like you're not lost in a crowd at this big spiritual event, but that you are one of the most important VIPs, and this is a VIP status event. So get your tickets while they're available, because the seating is very, very limited for this event. And your personal consultations are available as well as your own personal custom words of clarity deck. If you would like me to channel a grouping of messages for you, that's all available. But go check out more about the products and services that I have for you, as well as our 3-day retreat here in Las Vegas at LPHtarot.com. That's LPHtarot.com. As in love, peace, and happiness to you and yours, and of course me and mine. Until next time.